What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It is preview day once again. The Champions League has come back around. 3 games to go in the group stage, and we're going to get into all the nitty-gritty a bit later in the stream. But we've got a Tottenham update to bring you first, as Spurs have announced part of their pre-season tour already. Quite early for it, to be fair. Spurs have announced they are going to Australia to compete in the Sydney Cup alongside Sydney FC and Chelsea. They first play Sydney FC on Wednesday the 29th of July and then Chelsea on Saturday the 1st of August. I believe the kickoff times in England are going to be something crazy like 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or something.
Well, they do their timings, don't they, Spurs? As soon as Ange is gone, they're now going to Australia for a pre-season tour. I've seen a lot of pundits in Australia, and they don't take too kindly to Tottenham these days. They're like public enemy number one there for sacking their Lord and Saviour. But, look, exciting for Tottenham. But I don't know if we're going to go, or I don't know if we'll be able to we'll have to cover it at 5 a.m. It's going to be crazy.
Most definitely going to be covering it, that's for sure. That's a certainty. But it's interesting. Australia for pre-season, still kind of like this Premier League stuff going on in the States every single summer, and Spurs are never involved. I kind of like those games. I'd like Spurs to be involved in one of those one year.
One year. Not going to be this year, but it's their winter, isn't it, when we're going?
Australia, yeah. But I don't think it ever gets that cold there. I think, in their winter, it's still 20 degrees or mid 15 degrees or something like that.
We're expecting a hero's welcome for Tottenham there?
No, not at all. I think Spurs could get booed, to be honest, by the Australian faithful. To be fair, though, Spurs do have quite a big following in Australia.
Any chance we go there and Ange gets brought out at half-time?
Ange will definitely be covering. He'll probably be the pundit, won't he?
Yeah, the pundit in the studio, laying into Tottenham.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. But I'm quite excited for it. Obviously, Spurs have been to Asia the last couple of years and changing up, going to Australia this time.
What they need to do is, before the game, get Ange to bring out the Europa League trophy for all the fans out there. That'll get everyone back on side.
This was probably signed and sealed when Ange was our manager.
Yeah, I reckon
that's probably what the situation was.
These things get agreed long in advance, don't they?
Because when we were in Korea 2 years ago, I heard from people there that Spurs are going to Hong Kong next year. So that was already agreed a year in advance. So this is probably the same.
I see. Well, didn't factor that in when they sacked him, did they?
Next up, team news, injury news. So Frank's been speaking in the press conference. He said on Destiny Udogie, he's picked up a hamstring injury and he's going to be sidelined until January, which is not great news when you've got games coming thick and fast and only 2 recognised fullbacks now in the squad in Jed Spence and Pedro Porro. Albeit Jed Spence had a top quality display against Brentford, but there's going to be no rest at all during this period, unless maybe Archie Gray can fill in at fullback. You've got Ben Davis there, that's fit as well. But in terms of quality options there's not much there.
Yeah, and every year we leave ourselves short in this position. Every year it costs us. We always pick up an injury. It's happened literally time after time.
And it's usually Destiny Udogie.
And it's not his first hamstring, is it? He had, I think, last season he got a hamstring injury. I think maybe even the season before. I can't remember if it was a hamstring, but picked up an injury as well in the season before. So it's now becoming a real persistent issue with Destiny, trying to keep him fit. And I love him to bits. I think he's a great fullback when he's fit and when he's available. But unfortunately, it's becoming a real issue for us, isn't it? But then again, he is very young, so maybe it's something he can get over. But right now, we just can't seem to. He can't seem to get a consistent run where he just stays fit. And the most annoying thing is he just did an interview, but it must have been before the Newcastle game when he said he was doing it for Puma, I think. And he said, he's never felt better. He's felt the fittest he's ever been. And then the next we know, he's got a hamstring injury and he's out till at least January. Let's hope it's not longer, but it's not great. And look, hopefully Spence can continue how he's playing. To be fair, Spence is pretty robust. I feel like he's one of those players that can kind of take it. He can play a lot. And
we know Porro can as well.
We know Porro can, but can they keep up their standards? That's the question. Because we know Porro, when he plays too much, he starts to wane a bit. Hopefully the same doesn't happen with Jed.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to pick our moments when we can rest these players and put an Archie or a Ben at fullback. And I think tomorrow night should be one of those moments, to be honest, because you're looking at these Premier League games, they're tough. And out of all the runs that we've got from now until January, this is probably our easiest game.
To be fair, though, between tomorrow and Saturday. Was Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
So there's a pretty decent break there. So you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think we have a midweek game next week.
So our game after Forest, who have we got? Is it Liverpool, the next game after that?
I think so. Forest and then, Liverpool. So it's no midweek game.
Yeah, so you've got to go full. So when's our next midweek game after that?
There's no midweek game after that as well. It's Palace and then Brentford is midweek. So I think we could be all right for the next
So we got
few.
no midweek game after this until the new year?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should be all right then.
We should be all right.
Yeah. All right, and more injury news as well. He mentions that Brennan Johnson's availability is touch and go for this game. I thought, if he was fit, he probably would have started. Obviously, he's going to have a late fitness test and judge it tomorrow. But, I didn't know anything about a Brennan Johnson injury until now.
He was on the bench, wasn't he, last game? So I'm guessing he must have picked up an injury in training, or something like that, which is not great. Looks like Kudus is going to have to hold the burden. But again, hopefully we'll be all right with the gap we have in between games. But Kudus just looking at his fresher. So it'll be nice to give him a bit of a rest tomorrow. But looks like not going to be able to, unless we play Odebear on the right. But then...
Could play Odebear on the right, we'll get into it in our predicted lineup. But, Brennan Johnson is a doubt going into the game tomorrow night. And... in surprising news as well, in the training footage today, you saw James Maddison on the grass going to hug Thomas Frank, and he wasn't involved in training or anything like that, so don't get too excited. But it's positive to see him on the grass with training staff. Yeah,
and it's great that he's taken the next step in his recovery. Frank did say he's still very early and we're not going to see him for a long time. So, but it's interesting when you look at that video he did for his YouTube channel. The doctors were saying ACLs can obviously take between 6 to 9 months to heal, and you can get back playing. But he said in the ACL he had and his type of body or whatever, the signs point to it being more on the quicker side potentially than the one that takes longer. So maybe we might see him earlier than people expect. But look, there's no point putting any pressure on him. I don't think there's any. Look, we're not going to see him probably until earliest March at the very earliest, I would assume. But it's great that he's taking that next step. Is he back on the grass before Solanke? On Kulusevski?
It is crazy to me that we've seen Maddison in training footage that put up by Tottenham before Decky and Solanke.
It's nuts.
It's just nuts to me.
He did his ACL literally in July. Crazy. But he looked in good spirits, and I'm sure he's absolutely itching to get back on. We're going to also see him tonight on MNF. Yeah. So I'm going to be tuning into that, see what he's got to say. Definitely.
Definitely looking forward to that and see what he has to say for himself. It's a good point, actually. Steve mentions in the comments, isn't Johnson suspended for this game?
I thought it was last game. Was
it just a one-match ban?
Yeah, because it was yellow. It was
just a one-match ban. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was a red. But I'm guessing, I think it's a one. Actually, it might have been 3. But he says he's injured. Doesn't say he's suspended.
Yeah.
So I think it was a one-match ban.
Okay. And last but not least, potential transfer rumour here from Court Offside saying that Tottenham are exploring a move for Marcus Rashford next summer if Barcelona decide not to make his loan permanent. Arsenal and Chelsea are also monitoring the England forward situation closely.
Arsenal and Chelsea.
Would you want to see Marcus Rashford at Spurs?
I think he's doing all right at Barca, to be fair.
15 goal contributions in 19 games.
Very all right. He's doing really well. And obviously, he had quite a good loan spell at Villa as well, which I think they wanted to keep him on, but they just couldn't get the finances to work. I think there's obviously a very good player in there. Tuchel seems to think he should be our starting left winger, doesn't he, for England? So he really believes in him. He doesn't believe this narrative that he's finished or anything like that. So I would take him. I think if you're looking to add goals to the front line, I think he's a prime candidate for that.
Yeah, I was against it before he went to Aston Villa, but I actually think it would be a really good move for Tottenham Hotspur. I think, it's clear to see Marcus Rashford has a lot of quality, always has had.
I don't get why he isn't playing for United right now. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, he's not playing for United because it just got stale for him there, and he wasn't buying into it. And it was just going wrong for him there, and he just couldn't seem to up his performance levels.
I think they just need a manager that can get the best out of him. There's no reason why he would easily get in that United team right now.
Yeah, of course, but he should have got into it when he was on the bench, stuck in the bench, when he was there. So I don't know. Kind of sometimes players just need to move on to get the best out of them, and I think this was one of those cases.
Yeah, but everyone Amorim seems to have let go, seems to be flying.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to that as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, United have just been, I don't know, it's just been like such a bad atmosphere there. And, as you say, even Anthony, he's been clowned upon, but his whole Manchester United career, and he starts flying for Betis. So if it was a genuine possibility, I would like to see Rashford at Spurs, to be honest. And he's a player that can play up front and on the left as well.
I think if Amorim's not there next year, I think there is a chance he goes back to United.
If he wants, I don't know if he wants to go back.
I think he's a United lad. If there's a chance that he could go well, I think, look, it turned toxic because he wasn't playing well, he wasn't being picked, all this kind of stuff, and he was getting frustrated. But I think there's a manager who believes in him and there's a system that can work for him. Why not?
Yeah, maybe. But, I don't think it's like any realistic chance of happening, to be honest. The wages that he's on, he's at Barcelona now doing very well. And I think they like him there. I think Barcelona will probably try and sign him, won't they?
There's mixed reporting on that. Like some saying that they want him, some saying that they're not going to be able to afford the wages permanently. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so that is your Tottenham update for today. We are going to move